to start off by speaking about crime. In this recent 28-day period, the last 4 weeks, the 34th Precinct has had 99 major crimes, that's major felonies, versus 101 during the same period last year. So that's a modest 2% reduction. But it's a reduction in crime nonetheless, so we'll take it. We've had no shootings in the last 4 weeks. But I'm a little more excited to speak about our pilot program, which kicked off on May 18th. You've heard a little about the pilot program in the past. What the pilot program was that we've basically taken almost all the cops that we have and we put them back to patrol. We have no more street narcotic enforcement unit, no school unit, no conditions units, no business posts, and no impact zone. So basically, all the officers that were in all these different units are now on patrol. So we have much more officers going out each door. And those officers that are assigned to patrol are assigned to steady neighborhoods on a steady basis. So if you're in Sector Adam, which is east of Broadway, north of 179th Street, and south of 193rd Street, then that's the area that you're assigned to every day. And the idea is that the officers will get to know the residents they serve, and those residents will get to know those officers. It's very similar to the film you just watched. It's about consistency, and it's about police working with community. So how has this program worked since May 18th would probably be your question. It's been 16 weeks, and how's it going? Well, in those 16 weeks, this year we've had 399 major felonies versus 400 last year. So if you look at the total crime, and by that crime we measure murder, rape, robbery, felony assault, burglary, grand larceny, and grand larceny oil, those are the 7 majors. So we had 399 this year since May 16th versus 400 last year since May 16th. So crime is it's down slightly, but it's actually 0.2%. One thing I'm very pleased with is that in terms of violent crime, all violent crime is down since May 18th. Over those 16 weeks, we have reductions in rape, reductions in robbery, and felony assault, and burglary. All those crimes are down. The one that's down the most is actually burglary, where we have 51 this year versus 66 last year. And I think the most important improvement that I could point out to you since the pilot program began is in the area of shootings, shooting incidents. Since May 18th, we've had 2 shooting incidents. And last year, from May 18th through this date, we had 5. So that's a reduction of 60% in shooting incidents. Now, every shooting incident, to me, is one too many. Because every time bullets are fired, we never know where those bullets are going to hit. They can go anywhere, they can hit anyone. So even one shooting, to me, is one shooting too many. But I think we did very well this summer. Last year, we had 1 shooting in June, we had 2 in July, and we had 1 in August. So if you look at those 3 months in the summer, June, July, and August, we had 4 shooting incidents. This year, we had only 1 in July. None in June, none in August. So far, none in September. So there's just a 1 shooting incident in July. So that just kind of turned the corner on shootings in the 34th Precinct for the entire year. Right now, for the entire year, since January 1st, we've had 5. And last year, at this time, we had 6. So that took place since we instituted the pilot program. I think a lot of people had doubts about whether or not this program would work. So why has it worked? I think the answer is very simple. The cops who are sitting with you and the community that participates with those cops. That's why the pilot program is working here. We have a community that's willing to work with us, which is shown by a good turnout here tonight. And we have police officers that have embraced this program, and they want to make it work. Changing the way policing is done is not an easy thing, and these officers have embraced it. They're literally changing the way policing is done in this city, and they're doing so successfully. And their efforts have led to less violence in the 34th Precinct this summer. A couple of other notes before I take questions. Some issues that typically come up here at our meetings. I'm sure a lot of you see dirt bikes and motorcycles and scooters being operated recklessly on the streets of New York City. And it's something that has been a problem here in the 34th Precinct. But it's something that these officers have been addressing. So far this year, in terms of confiscations, we've confiscated 78 motorcycles, dirt bikes, and quads. To give you a little breakdown of exactly how it shakes out, we've taken 64 motorcycles, 11 scooters, and 3 quads. So that's 78 bikes confiscated. Each time it's a challenge because we have to try to make that apprehension safely. We can't necessarily pursue someone who's going to go through red lights and drive on sidewalks, but it's something that we're working on and we'll continue to work on. Noise complaints. Noise complaints come up very often at these meetings, and it's something that these officers have been working on consistently throughout the summer. For example, for the month of August, they issued 140 unreasonable noise summonses. Many of those to vehicles driving around with sound systems very loud, and at times we've confiscated some of those sound systems as well. So it's an issue for us, but it's something we are working on.